One. Hola, bonjour, and how you doing, everybody? You are listening to Worldwide Tea. It is the one and only podcast where every single week we recap everything going on in the world of international drag race spin-offs. As always, I'm Evan Sadi from Pop Matters.
I am Gregory Elwood from the playlist, and sometimes you can read me in the LA Times.
And a fun fact for everybody who's listening, most of the time when we've been doing our episodes, we kind of cram everything together. We've been splitting out our coverage as of late. It's been actually kind of fun to do so. And as part of it, we're doing a standalone episode on something very interesting this week. We're doing a standalone episode on the Canada Season 6 Meet the Queens, which, by the way, was really zippy, super quick. Some queens got more time than others, and already posted 8 days ago, it has more views than the season 5 one. So I don't know what that's about. Greg might have some ideas and
I know what it's
suggestions.
about.
What's it about, Greg?
First of all, there's one queen on this season who has more followers than about three US winners on Instagram alone.
Uh-huh.
And on TikTok, on TikTok probably blows about everyone away outside of Plastique, Bob, Trixie, and RuPaul.
It's not
That's one of the
Saltina
reasons.
Shaker, right? You can't possibly be
It
talking about
it
Saltina
might
Shaker.
be Saltina
Oh,
Shaker, who
wow.
actually I still had no idea who she was until I knew this cast months ago. So someone told me then, but I don't understand whatever. We should run down these queens, Evan.
Absolutely. And before we do, as always, we want to say in this House of Love, we believe that all drag is valid and no queen ever deserves online hate. And as American entertainment journalists, we may not get every single cultural reference. We always appreciate corrections. And there's some truly great queens who are good at drag race, and we love them all the same. And we don't know how the season plays out. So I have no idea which of these that statement will apply towards. Uh,
And
but
there's one other thing. Before we
mhm.
go down these queens, unlike other Canada seasons, and I didn't do a deep dive into it, but in general, this is one of the youngest casts they've ever had. In
Mm,
general, there are only three queens on this cast over 30. Everyone else is younger. So that's nine. There's like three or four queens who are 24. That's
mhm.
really young for Canada. Usually they spread it out way, way more. So that's an
Right. Because
interesting decision that they made this time around.
Yeah, because very recently we had Kitten Caboodle, who was obviously giant, and I'm sorry, giant. Like she was, I think, the oldest queen that ever been cast on a season. And then
hmm
obviously last season we had Jaylene Time, who was 52 at the time. So just a good mix overall. But Greg, how before we jump in, how many of these queens did you know prior?
I knew Karamilk, so one,
Hmm.
two. I knew two of them.
Okay. And not
So how
Saltina
about how
Shaker.
about you?
These are names that I've heard before, but I'm not sure if they are just common enough, like Dulce or Hazel, or if they're because I've heard of them because they've been associated with other things. But let's dive into it. Let's get the actual tea on here. Greg, who is our first up on the bat?
First up, 24 years old from London, Ontario, but now lives in Toronto like all of them, is Dulce.
They
Dulce?
said Dulce. I want to say Dulce like that. I want to do the
Dulce.
Spanish pronunciation, but they said Dulce, so I'm like, okay,
I
we're
think
going
it's
with it.
Dulce.
Yeah.
She's really interesting. She's the first Mexican Canadian queen.
Hmm.
I liked her look. Here's the thing about all these looks, Evan, is I didn't think any of them were like noteworthy or groundbreaking. I didn't think any of them were really like terrible. So to me, the looks really don't matter here. I feel like they all like played as close to like what the theme was. This look was fine though.
Hmm.
She had a lot of interesting things to say. She says she's a whore and she sounds like she is drama because she
Yes, she
just
does.
can't be fake. That's a real quote.
Can't do it. Can't
And
be fake.
and as we start comparing all these queens, because some of them may have social media follower envy as the episodes go along, she only has 7,000 followers over a week after the Meet the Queens. What did you think of Dulce, Evan?
There are four looks here I would describe as not particularly good, and this is absolutely one of them. And again, they're in theme, they're doing it. I'll let you know. I'll let you guess which other ones I thought were not up to snuff. But she has a very interesting backstory. I guess she had 6 years in the Canadian Army Reserve. prior
Oh,
to this, which is kind of wild too. There is a queen who competed on Call Me Mother season 2. Her name is Arya Dahl. I've watched that season. I do not remember her. And apparently she is the drag daughter of Arya Dahl. So little
oh.
bit of stuff on here. By the way, Call Me Mother season 2 is going to come up again later on as we run these queens down. Overall, though, this is not going to be the winner of Canada's Drag Race. There's no way I see it happening. She's going to be
Wow.
there for a couple fights. That's my opinion on it. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I don't know anything.
The hate just coming already with the first queen. Um,
Yeah.
Up next is Eboni La'Belle. She's 24 from St. Catharines. And if you don't know where St. Catharines is, because it's not that common a place you hear about in Canada. It is the city, quote unquote, town. It is really a city. She calls it a small town on the other side of Buffalo on Niagara Falls. So when
Okay.
you cross over from Buffalo into Canada, you're basically going almost through St. Catharines. So
Okay.
it's if you were to look at it's literally across the water, which is a long boat ride from Toronto. So it is not like Halifax, which is a 45-minute drive. It is an
Right.
hour and a half away. It is far away. It is not quote unquote Toronto proper, but she now lives in Toronto. Um, she describes herself as a phenomenal limb seeker. We should know that as far as we know now, she's the only trans woman of the season. She
Correct.
had some really good one-liners. She's like, I may be a fortune teller, but I don't need a crystal ball to send these queens home by home. Home one by one. Um, and most importantly, Georges alert. If Rue is having any like influence on these winners
George's
or
withdrawal symptoms.
George's
Yeah.
withdrawal system, she is a tiny petite beauty. She's one of those girls. So
Hmm.
watch out. Also, I'd heard of her actually before she was cast, but she only has 7,700 followers. So that's my take, and I thought her costume was good. I liked it. What did you think?
I think she was really big on the hypnotizing thing. She was like to invent new words and whatnot. And it's the thing where it's just like we've done enough of this. Greg and I have been doing this podcast for over a year, and so I think we've seen a lot of stances. I think we've seen a lot of put on personas on here. It's just
Yeah.
I don't see confidence. I see someone who has a put on idea. I see someone who is happy to be here, and I've been wrong about this shit before. I will be. I just didn't get like I really don't know who they are, and I know this is a Meet the Queens. I know some of the questions are a little bit stilted or whatnot. I just after this whole thing, I have the least amount of notes on her than anyone else, and I was looking. I don't know. I just didn't get the strong vibes. I love our trans girls. I love them representing and showing up. We'll see how it plays out. I don't have the highest of hopes at this particular point in time.
I'm sort of surprised you didn't think she was confident. That was the one thing I got from her that I thought she was calm, cool, and collected. I didn't think she was like
It felt
seemed
put upon to me, like it felt
okay.
like drag character, like performance confidence. It seemed like she,
Okay.
like as to quote the great, oh my God, Alexis, not Alexis Michelle,
Alexis
oh my,
Mateo.
thank you. As to quote the great Alexis Mateo, she will crack under pressure.
Oh.
That's the sense I got. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That's just me. We're giving our honest takes here as always.
And also, we should always say, with any
Hmm.
Meet the Queens, any franchise, any season, whether it's intentional or not, because they do these almost always now at the beginning, there are so many queens that you think one thing and then something else happens and it's not what you thought in terms of
Hmm.
like how their run is, how they're sort of taken by the fans. So we could all be wrong on this. That's sort of one of the fun things that's left about Meet the Queens and Drag Race.
Listen,
But
I was
who's
all in on young Bella, and I stand by it.
yeah, I was too. We love you, Nambella.
We love you, young
Um,
Bella, friend of the pod.
Oh, friend of the pod. So, who is up after Ebony Labelle?
Why, that would be none other than Hazel, of course. 27 from Vancouver, BC. And I'll give her right off the bat. She's like, and I keep you guessing. She referenced Reviliana from the incredible Eve 6000 performance from Canada's
Oh
Drag Race
my God.
Season 2, the Big Top Musical. So out the gate, already my favorite. Love that. If you're going to reference Reviliana, in my bag. So on board for Hazel already. Greg, did you know any other background about her?
I did not know except what she said is
Hmm.
she describes herself as the it girl from Vancouver. And to be honest, she has 25,000 followers for a Vancouver girl who has not been on national television. So she's definitely a thing out on the west coast of Canada. But also she was a diver, like a swimming diver,
Yeah,
and was on Team Canada a number of times.
Canada.
She never says she was an Olympian, so I'm assuming she never made it that
Right.
far. So that's still interesting. But she said that she has been taking acting classes and sewing classes. She's prepping herself because she wants to do very, very well. But also, the one other thing is, I think she's a producer or a booker of shows in Toronto. Sorry, in Vancouver. So
Hmm.
that was interesting. I'm curious what her connections will be to another queen from Vancouver on this season. Hopefully, they're friends and there's no drama. But again, the 25,000 followers is a real thing because she's not like a stunning drop, gorgeous beauty who's
Hmm.
like getting a following on social media because of that. Like this clearly came from other stuff and other performances. She's only 27, so it's not like she's been doing it for 15, 20 years. But I was intrigued by her. She does feel like mid out though to me.
I got same vibes absolutely. She could surprise me. I'm willing to put that aside. I got stronger vibes off her than I did both Ebony and Dulce, at least so far.
But a queen that does not seem like mid outs to me
At
is
all.
Karamilk.
Caramilk.
She is 25 from Ottawa, but she was born in Halifax and now she lives in Toronto. So as she says, she's international, which is not what that means. But it was funny.
That's
Uh,
funny.
I liked this look. It's a little pirate. It's a little pirate for the circus. Um, but my biggest takeaway from her is she's not worried about the challenges. She's not worried about Snatch Game. She's not worried about, the other queens. She's just worried about not having sex.
Look,
And
that was my note. And you know what? You know what? Props on her, mama. Like that. Maybe she can channel that energy into a
yes.
challenge win or something else like that. She is the drag daughter of Kimmy Couture, which makes
Ah,
her the drag niece of Michaela Couture, and I guess somehow I guess that makes her the drag her drag aunt is Isis. But either way, so she definitely comes from a house. She comes from a line. So knowing that, and especially seeing her presence and her poise, I'm like, she will be competition. So when you said she feels like she's going to be probably one of the
yeah.
more lasting queens, 100% agree. I have a very strong high hopes set to her.
She also said, I believe twice, not sorry about it, about taking gigs from other queens. And I just love that she emphasized the about it, the Canadian way of saying about. Um, but also, more intriguingly, she only has 11,000 followers, and actually, I'd heard of her. Like, she sort of has a little rep. She's done a lot of like big shows with like touring queens, so I was sort of surprised. But also, again, a POC color with not as many. Sorry, a POC queen with about as many followers as you think. Not great.
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
Up next is Mya Foxx, also from Halifax. And she is the first Inuit queen on Canada's Drag Race, which is sort of amazing. She brings up that there's been a lot of Indigenous queens, but they've actually
Hmm.
mostly been from the plains. They have not been from the East Coast. And she is very focused on incorporating as much in Inuit drag culture in her drag. And by the way, that's not always a good like strategy long term that I've noticed
Hmm.
for queens on different seasons. But I love the representation big time. But
Hmm.
she is super confident and she wants to prove she has something to prove. She wants to prove that East Coast drag is freaking fierce. What did
Hmm.
you think of Maya Fox?
The thing is that like I wanted more of her personality more than anything else, because I love the fact that she was representing and was the key Inuit queen. Again, no Inuit queen I think has made or any Indigenous queen has made it extremely far, but they've made statement pieces on the runways before. They've been some fan favorites, absolutely, and so I just kind of wanted a little bit more from her, and I was like, why do I know her? Oh, duh, of course I know her because she is yet again another alum from Call Me Mother season 2. How
Oh,
well did she do in that show? She placed ninth, which is why I only kind of remember her. But she didn't leave much of an impression there. I hope she leaves more an impression here. She certainly seems a little bit more ready for it. Again, of all the Call Me Mother alums that we've had on the show so far, I think the strongest one going is Kiki Ko, who I obviously still love a whole lot. But yeah, we'll see how it plays out. She at least has television experience and television competition experience, so here's hoping.
was she super crunchy drag when she was on that show?
Greg, why do you ask questions that you already know the
I
answer
don't
to?
know. I was just double checking.
It was yeah, she did not have the most strongest impression when I watched her season. So
Okay.
yes.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, a queen that definitely gave a strong impression and perhaps is one of the most mysterious in some ways queens of the season is Paolo Perfeccion?
Perfeccion, yeah. She
Perfeccion.
pronounced it in a way I was not expecting, and I still appreciate it. But yes, it's that's the Spanish spelling of perfection.
Yeah,
Perfeccion. Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll get
Perfeccion.
used to it over the course of the season.
So I thought she's 24. She makes it very, she wants everyone to know she's not just from Montreal, she's from downtown Montreal, which I guess is a thing. Um, so here's the thing about Paolo. If you investigate Paolo, no, no, this is serious. Paolo was a influencer makeup artist in the late
Oh,
tens. So if you look at her Insta and you, that's why she has 21,000 followers. She was doing James Charles makeup, like stuff like in Canada. And if she still has the post where she was like paid to be an influencer for makeup, and some of
I
those posts
see.
have thousands and thousands of likes, but she didn't really turn it into a global sort of like, outside of Canada
Brand.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like 21,000 followers in Canada, if you're a makeup artist, like someone will give you money to like promote something. So, but what's interesting is then about a year or so, if you look at her feed after the pandemic, she sort of stopped. And by the way, she was only 19 at the time. Like she was very young when she was doing these
Hmm.
makeups. So she was like 18, 19. And then she randomly started doing drag here and there, but she hasn't done a lot of drag.
Hmm.
So she's sort of this interesting wild card. She's not that known in the scene, like in theory, but she's known as a personality in can. It's very interesting. So I
Yeah.
I feel like she is a real drag queen. Her posts, by the way, since being on the show, are literally hilarious. All she's doing is mocking all of it in the most like absurd way you would never expect for any queen on any like she's not making fun of the show. She's
Yeah.
just making fun of herself and the context of it and like goofy and like not what you'd expect of a former like I need to look stunning, beautiful makeup artist.
Yeah.
It's really interesting. And when she says in the Meet the Queens, "Have you ever seen a queen like me before?" She's not really kidding. Like
Hmm.
I think her goal is to give something different than anyone has ever seen before.
Hmm. Which is why she's seeing things through her third eye, which she keeps
Yes.
referencing over and over again. I'll be honest here, it's like she did have personality. I was a little bit confused as to her look because, like, when you actually soak in the details, it is very well composed, it is very
Yeah.
well made. But it's just the color combination, the length of it, a lot of it just felt odd to me in a way that wasn't necessarily satisfying. This was one of my
Mm.
bottom four looks, to put it that way. Nothing against Eboni La'Belle either, but like it just she definitely feels like she is a distinct pick. She is going to give potential wackadoo energy, which I'm very okay with. But I just don't know if that means she's going to be a Xana, or if that means she's going to be more of a Vivian Vanderpuss, or a secret third thing. We'll see what kind of stuff happens, but yeah.
She's telling me that the story producers thought, you know what, we cast her, we have a really good storyline for the first three episodes of the season. Like that's what she's given. But she's
Mhm.
fun. And
Yeah,
also
absolutely.
she is for someone who comes from that world, she does not seem pretentious or sort of stuck up, or she's doesn't seem that way at all.
Hmm.
Maybe she grew up.
Yeah.
Uh, Up next, talking about someone who may be super controversial, but we'll find out, is PM. And PM is 31 from Vancouver. She is in the vein of a Laca Udia from España. She's got a big
Is she giving Lucky Udea energy? I think she's giving
with
Chaos
the
Grim. Well, the makeup, yes,
the
absolutely,
makeup with
yes.
the
Yeah.
mustache. Um, you thought she was giving chaos
No,
from
not
Canada?
actually Chaos. Not Chaos from season 4 of Canada's Drag Race. No. I was thinking more just chaos in general, like just chaos energy, is what she was giving me personally.
I I thought she was giving chaos a little bit. I thought she was giving super overconfident and
Yes.
also very super. No one has done what I've ever done before, but everyone has already done what you've done before, PM. She says she's everyone's favorite alien superstar. I wasn't getting alien at all. Granted,
At
these are
all.
circus
At
looks,
fucking all.
but
Yeah.
fun. She is another former ballet dancer, a theme recently on Drag
Mhm.
Race. Those ballet jobs are not easy to find. Got to transition
No,
to
they are not.
drag. Um, she also said gender is limitless. That's her new quote unquote perspective to drag because no one's ever done that on any season of Drag Race ever.
Not at
That was a
all.
little wild to me. But she has a little bit more than the other queens in terms of followers before she even got on the show. She has almost 14,000 followers. So she was making a name for herself out in Vancouver. But again, because I don't trust story producers for any Drag Race franchise, I am super curious what her relationship is with Hazel. Do you think they might not be friends?
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out 3 episodes in. They've been friends the whole time, having worked at the same
Yes!
club. I don't know about that. Greg?
What did you think of PM?
Well, she said she's going to make her audience her own pay piggy. So already we're off in some wild territory. I'll say that. She also said, "quote Might have when talking about what you can expect at a PM show, you might have some sex, you might have some clown, which is obviously incredible words to hear back to each other.
Wait,
But
are you
kind of
telling me
weird.
someone might have a sexy clown drag show? Is this groundbreaking? This is groundbreaking stuff, Evan. I don't know if
It's
we've ever,
groundbreaking. This
this
is
is, no one's
uh,
ever done this in the world of drag ever. PM,
florals in
groundbreaking.
spring, exactly. But also there is a group called NB6. Is a
Oh.
girl group that she is in with another queen named Venus. So it's interesting that the producers decided not to mention that, but
Oh,
I just wanted to highlight
no.
that there is a little bit of connection over there. It's kind of wild that she's with Venus because it feels like they have slightly different aesthetics, and by slightly I mean severely, but clearly they have, I think, big winner energy to them. I don't think PM's necessarily going to win, but I think she knows more. She might be overconfident, but I still think she knows what she's doing for the most part.
And there's another queen this season who's in a girl group with Drag Race alumni. So this will be very interesting as well. Um, But up next is the big gun, Evan, the queen that will get this show ratings and attention on social media like none other. The one and only Saltina Shaker, who
Saltina Shaker.
has, do you know how many followers she has? Do you want me to surprise? Do you want to guess?
2.3 million?
Well, that's because, yeah, yeah, of course you know the TikTok number. How
Okay.
many, Evan, how many does she have on Instagram though? Do you know?
I
Don't
gotta,
look at,
just for the way you're leading this up, I'm gonna guess over 120.
oh, 706,000.
Oh my God. Just fuck them
Yes.
up. Fuck them
Yes.
up.
I'm pretty sure she might be more than Willow now. Like there's ton like she's a
Wait,
thing.
Greg, are you saying she might have more than the Virgo Queen, friend of the show?
Virgo Queen has under 40,000 followers still.
That's
I think
so
she's at
insane.
35. Yeah, it's really sad.
That's more than when
Um,
we last spoke to her. She definitely got the Worldwide Tea bump. That's all I'm saying. Look at
yeah,
her
she
episode. We
did.
had a wonderful interview with her.
Yes.
Uh,
But she's 29 from Ottawa, but 99% sure she's a Toronto Queen now. She's sort of just fun and humble. I mean, her
mhm.
personality is not like, sassy and like mean and she's not cunty.
Right.
But she is a genuine performer. She says she's very funny. She also has a very popular podcast where it's successful enough where they get a lot of major Canadian celebrity, like gay celebrities on it.
Hmm.
Um, but I'm curious to see what she'll bring. I think the energy she's giving me is like, you think you know who I am because I'm big on social media and I do videos where I might talk about drag or I might, say
Hmm.
like, this is how, like I think I saw a TikTok of hers where she's like, where do I put my bits when I like am doing, how do I have, like she's down to prove like I am more than that. I'm a real drag queen, which she is. So I'm super curious. What did you think?
I thought it was very interesting that they did not decide to disclose who her drag mom is.
Did they not do that?
No. Greg,
Who's
do
her
you
drag
know who
mom?
her drag mom is? Someone named Giselle Lullaby.
Oh. I didn't realize that. I forgot about
Which
that.
again,
Actually, I might
they
have known
didn't.
that.
It's not in the press release. It doesn't come up at all in the Meet the Queens. They're actually very careful about not saying that any of these people come from these lineages over here. But for me, in my opinion, that's a pretty big deal because as much as there's some people who don't love Giselle Lullaby, you've heard me and Greg say on this pod multiple times that we are huge fans of Giselle Lullaby. She was the rightful winner of season 3 of Canada's
Yes.
Drag Race, and she's amazing and incredible. And spoiler alert, she is not the only queen in this cast that has a very direct connection to Giselle Lullaby. We'll get to that in a bit.
Oh, well now I'm not now I'm even more. Oh, well that's our next queen. But before we get there, I that is surprising. I do wonder if they're just hiding it for storylines. Like
Right.
that's but
Like it
also
comes up during the walkthrough or something. Right, right, right. Yeah.
but also they may just want to make sure the queens present themselves as themselves and don't give any like preconceived bias because they are the daughter or part of a family
Hmm.
or whatever. But speaking of a queen that will have no bias based on her social media and performances so far, the one and
Morgan
only
McMichaels. Oh, sorry.
Sammy, is that who you think she's like? Sami Landri. Did I say that right? Sammy, is it Sammy? It's Sammy, right? Sami
Yeah,
Landri?
Sami Landri. Yeah.
26 from Moncton, New Brunswick, but she actually lives in Montreal and is Quebecois, which is weird because I would never have thought that from someone from New Brunswick, but what do I know about Canada?
At all.
Uh,
Right.
she also has a ton of followers, and not just because Trixie Mattel started reposting her in the spring. She has 186,000 followers on Instagram. But she did get the attention of non-Canadians mostly after Trixie and Katja started liking her posts. If you have not noticed, she is a goofball and but
Hmm.
fucking smart as hell. But because of her look, which is popped by putting in contact lenses that like make her eyes seem like uncanny valley, which is really smart. And then she does beautiful like sort of chic woman drag. She'll
Right.
play with the Instagram filter and make her waist look insanely unhumanly possible skinny. And that got a lot of attention. She's also again a big goofball. Uh,
Hmm.
but I mean, when someone says, I'm gonna win this and they all suck, like that's pretty much
That's
all
the
you
exact
need
quote
to
I
know.
had. That's the exact quote I had.
And she's
Yeah.
saying it as jest. She's not serious. But the one other thing before I'm curious what you thought about her is just a big warning for anyone who goes to her social media. She has made it clear she is not going to talk in English on her social media posts when she does videos. She's
Oh,
a Quebec queen. She's a
Quebecois.
Quebec queen, and she wants to respect that because she doesn't feel that's gotten enough attention on Canada's Drag Race. So,
Good.
and she's very apologetic about it. She's like, "Hey, I'm going to do a post every week after every runway, and it's going to be in French. I'm sorry, there will not be English subtitles." She's like, "I don't have time. This is what it is." So just, and by the way, that might be limiting to her global opportunities, but I
Yeah.
respect it. What do you think of Sammy Landry?
Didn't love this look, I'll be honest, but again, it's part of the looks brigade that we had. Did you indicate that she maybe had a connection to Giselle Lullaby?
No. Does she also
Oh,
have a connection to
no,
Giselle
she.
Lullaby?
You said our next queen might, and so I thought there might
Oh,
be
I
something
well,
I
no,
wasn't
she's
aware of.
French. She's in
Yeah,
Montreal, so I thought she might.
yeah.
Uh,
Otherwise, like I did not know much about that social media history there, but overall, I thought like was good, was confident. I didn't have a particularly strong feeling towards her, if I'm being honest. Like she was solid. I think this is one of the things where this is some Meet the Queens, they really stand out, and sometimes you just got to see them in action in the workroom. I have a feeling she's one that will probably stand out better in that context than in MTQ.
I will also say the more you see her speak and the more you do interviews, she is one of the smartest queens on Canada in a long, long time.
Nice.
Like she
Big
is
fan of that.
smarter than the room. Like not
Good.
like in a Sasha,
Condescending. Yeah, yeah.
not condescending, in a very Sasha Velour sort of way. Like super
Got it.
smart.
Gotta
Uh,
love my Sasha.
we've got three queens left. Who is up next, Evan?
It is Stardall. Greg, it is Stardall. Greg, I just gotta be honest. Your personality is super grating. I couldn't stand her. I couldn't stand her. There's this whole like put upon. I'm not saying it was like full, fucking, uh, like just like annoying energy over there. She wasn't necessarily giving me some of our favorite queens from season 17 that wore giant mattresses. But I will say it's just like something about her energy just was wrong. It was like overly confident, it was overly pointed. Like I just didn't like it. And when she says, by the way, I'm the drag daughter of Suki Doll, I'm like, really? I felt like there was no necessarily like personality or even contextual correlation between them. I was very, very surprised by that. However, we do love our Pinoy girls, obviously, and so she has that in her, and she's more than happy to flaunt it. But yeah, did not give me the best impression out the gate. We're honest about our opinions here, Greg. What did you think?
I mean, I was sort of ambivalent to her. She's definitely giving me like second or third out on Slation Royale season
God,
2.
yeah.
Like, she will be a Slation Royale mainstay that may annoy the Pinoy queens. I will say this, because she is Suki Doll's drag daughter, I do not expect her runways to be embarrassing in any, like, Suki will not let herself be embarrassed.
At all,
So
at all.
they may not be the most groundbreaking runways. It might not be the best out of Suki's closet, or Suki may have been. Also, by the way, this shot, I think Suki was in the Philippines making that season, so I don't know how much help she actually was able to give her, but
Hmm.
as they prepped, I think that shooting actually overlapped, to be honest, because they shot this in like March. Yeah, same time. So it'll be really curious to see whether that comes back to haunt her. But again, I thought I was sort of ambivalent, and I felt like you are not giving me any energy. I thought, you know what you didn't like in her Meet the Queens is she's trying too hard.
Yeah,
She's
that's
that was the thing that, and then we've seen so many of these, that's easy to see now, and that can be
100%.
annoying.
Yeah. She might forget the Ella. I'll be honest. She might forget the Ella.
She might forget the Ella. Up next is another super confident queen, and also one who is has an interesting drag family as well. Is
Oh my
Van
God,
Gogh,
yes. Thank God.
27, and I'm a bitch from
I'm a
Toronto.
bitch. Listen,
Uh,
I can't be mad at her if she's just gonna flat out say it. I can't be mad
yeah.
at her if she's just gonna say it. I kind of respect that actually. And like as much as she did say that though, I will say that she apparently she has a BA in fashion design as well. So she might be coming in with maybe like a little bit more aggro energy. She might be coming in with a little bit more I'm the drama, but like I don't know, it's the kind of thing where like normally this would be very off-putting for me, but there's I'm not saying I'm a fan of hers out the gate, but I will say that like because she was so blunt about everything, I kind of respected it a lot more. I don't know what you thought.
I got Candy Muse vibes. Like,
Right.
and by the way, I respect Candy Muse. Candy Muse is quite a career. But I
Mm.
was getting a little bit of early Candy Muse vibes, and it was slightly off-putting a little bit to me. Um,
Hmm.
I don't know how long her look can last. Like, I don't know if this
Right.
aesthetic can like go super far. But she's honest about herself. She's like, she says it, I'm a love it or hate it kind of girl, which means she's ready for anyone to come with her with, come at her with anything. And she says she's a face of drama, and she sort of embraces that. I I don't know. I was like, but also she says she's been sewing since she was 16. So she's confident in a lot of areas, and a lot of overconfident queens over drag race seasons usually are overconfident because they don't have that sort of skill, or they have only one thing that they're really good at, and
Hmm.
maybe can't do multiple things. And Van Gogh at least is presenting herself as a multifaceted queen. But she also has an interesting connection, and might also be in another girl group, Evan.
Yes.
What is that girl group called?
That group is called the Powder Puff Girls, and she's in it with some queens that basically are instant fan favorites with a lot of people. Aurora Matrix and Perla, her drag sisters. So A, wild group, doubly wild because she does not give any of that energy like at all of what, because like Perla and Aurora Matrix, yeah, that makes sense. That goes together for me, but she is on a different emotional nexus than any of that. But cool, love it. Listen, if PM's hanging out with Venus, this makes sense too.
Yeah.
I'll go with it. I'm curious. It's the kind of thing where, as much as she's ornery or maybe a little bit pointed out the gate, her history, her lineage, her backstory shows that she has so much more depth of talent than what we would get out of a basic bitch edit. So I'm very curious to see how that plays out. Maybe it'll be like a Chanel O'Connor from UK season 6 kind of vibe. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I am super curious. I
Hmm.
She could go very far, she could go super early, but she seems confident enough that tells me she's not going super early. Um, and also I don't feel like the producers want to have a queen with her connections leave that early unless it's like a shocking sort of elimination. But
Right.
maybe. But last but not least, Evan, can we talk about the first in theory drag king, partially drag king on a drag race franchise, Velma Jones,
Velma
uh,
Jones.
39, the oldest queen of the cast, and a cis woman queen from Montreal. What did you think of Velma Jones, also known as Johnny Jones?
Absolutely fucking loved her out the gate. Give her the fucking crown already. I don't care how the season plays out. I was just delighted the whole fucking time. I thought it was great. I thought she just had such a, again, not saying that 39 by its age necessarily conduces maturity, but it's very clear this is someone who's been at the scene for a while, who knows what she's doing, and was goofy and irreverent and just knew exactly the kind of character that she wanted to play. I just was enraptured immediately. I was getting good vibes for the rest of the Queen, but Velma Jones immediately was like, "This is my favorite out the gate." I have strong hopes for Velma Jones. What was your impression?
I have strong hopes for Velma Jones. If you go to her Insta account, which has 9,100 followers, which, to be honest, for a drag king queen-ish is like pretty
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Um, uh, her Johnny Jones is sort of sexy. Like he's a sexy man. But I have hopes for her, and also this is something that I know. Brooklyn Heights, the wonderful host of Canada's Drag Race, has wanted for a long time that for drag kings to be represented in some way on the show. So I'm guessing she is quite excited about this, and I feel she'll want to do everything she can to make sure that Velma has a at least respectable run. So I'm really curious how long Velma sticks around. But she seems super confident in a not over the top way, and her drag and whether for Velma or Johnny, if you go through her Insta, is really strong. Like it's top tier. So
Yeah.
I'm super curious.
Well, two quick questions then for you, Greg. Number one, she is the fourth cis woman to compete across the international franchises. Can you name the other three?
Yes, Victoria Scone,
Hell yeah.
my favorite, the winner of Drag Race Canada. Oh
Germany.
my God. Oh, sorry, Drag Race Germany.
I mean,
Pan
this one might. Who knows? Yeah.
Pandora Knox.
Uh-huh.
And then the third is from Drag Race España,
You
and
got
it's
it. You
Chloe
got it.
Biche.
It's Clover Beach. It's Clover
Clover
Beach.
Biche.
Yes,
Um,
fantastic. I had to look up the last one too, but like hell yeah. I mean, all queens have done pretty well over for themselves too, so I'm very excited.
and to be honest, I ended up ranking them in their from best to worst. I Victoria is could have won her season.
Absolutely.
Pandora shouldn't have, but she was top two. She could have been top four. Sustain, somewhere Metamorkid is
Justice
still
for
crying.
Metamorkid.
Justice
Hashtag,
for
yes.
Metamorkid. And then
Yeah.
you did not know me at the time, but I thought Chloe Clover Bish like got the longest run for any queen that never should have been on the show that long as she did. But
The only other
anyway,
thing I'll say, oh, the only last thing I'll say is that Velma Jones is also she is a producer and she is a stage director. She actually
ah,
directs a weekly show over in Canada. I'm sorry, let me clarify. She directs, or at least co-directs and produces Giselle Lullaby's weekly show. So that
oh,
is what her gig is on a regular basis. So we have a lot of, listen, I have never been more happy to have so much Giselle Lullaby representation come on into this single season. But there are connections, and it makes me kind of excited. I'm excited, Greg. Yeah.
Evan, we what hasn't there been jokes about someone as being the producer of the season on different Drag Race seasons, like US seasons,
Yes.
like yes, like Alexis
Candy
Michelle,
Muse.
Candy Muse. So, but now we have a director. We've got a director on set.
Thank God. Thank God. Finally, at long last.
Finally.
So
So
overall, yeah.
overall, Evan, who do you think is winning? You know what, Evan? Who is winning Canada's Drag Race season 6, and who is going home first?
Oh, that now that's a good question. I'll be honest. I'll be honest. I think it's Velma Jones. I think she'll have a journey. I think she might have to lip sync once, maybe even twice in the bottom. But my gut instinct is telling me that for the most part, queens that are over 40 tend to at least have a decent shelf life on Canada. They usually make it at least the halfway point. I'm thinking not only about Jaylene Time, but also Kit and Caboodle. I think there's a very good chance for her in that regard. And as for going home first. That's a tougher question. Off my just my gut instinct off the top of my head is Stardoll. I also just don't like the name. I think that's just a very boring name. I think Stardoll might be going home, but that's just me. Greg, same question posed to you.
I so it's interesting. They have not crowned a trans queen yet.
Hmm,
So I am a little curious about Eboni La'Belle. I think she could be someone to
potential fighter.
watch.
Hmm.
But part of me also feels like they want to make sure that Vancouver keeps getting good representation. And I have this gut instinct that PM could go very far. They haven't really had a winner like PM, and
Hmm.
PM would be sort of an artistic West Coast, winner and would help them not have a I guess my God, it would be the third or fourth queen from Toronto to win. Maybe third.
Hmm.
Yeah, it would be a lot out of just 6 seasons. It would be the third out of six if they had another Toronto queen. So I feel like Vancouver is calling, but I don't feel Hazel.
I
So
don't feel Hazel. I could be wrong. I just don't feel it out
yeah,
the gate.
me
Yeah,
either.
but
But
also
it's
if
ex
yeah,
no, please go.
but also, I mean, I feel like when they had the very first episode of last season when Virgo Queen was in a top two lip sync, they tend to space those out. The producers seem to know pretty well what's going
Yeah.
on when they kind of favored it. I have a feeling we'll probably see the breaks in this cast pretty early, but however, maybe it's Saltina Shaker driving all the audience that way, but maybe it's not. I just have a better feeling about this cast than I did last season because I think overall our review for Drag Race Canada season 4 or Canada's Drag Race season 5 was okay. Still some good queens. I just feel like as much as they innovate the challenges, it really comes down to casting bench and how to fill this. I feel pretty good about this bench. They seem to have a nice glean of things. I'm not necessarily starstruck over it, but I'm ready to be excited. I'm ready to be taken away on a journey.
I was very disappointed in the last season of Canada's Drag Race. I still find Malika Couture like nails on a chalkboard. Even though I think I love her passion. I think Virgo Queen is a very nice queen. I think she is lit
Friend of the show. Hmm.
friend of the show. I will say nothing else. But she has become perhaps the most forgettable international queen ever. Like I just don't know. I just feel bad for her.
Right.
And I can't really remember. I guess who was the other queens that popped last season? Like I can't even remember. Was that See,
Right. I
you're
mean,
having to look it up. Like it's
I,
it's
I, I
it
am.
was
I mean, Minnie
it was
Wang, but like Perla was
oh,
like my
Minnie
favorite out the
Wang.
gate. Yeah. Yeah. And also
Yeah.
everyone is talking about how I've seen clips go around of Xana being the Joella of writing lyrics. Those clips have gone viral a couple times. So not necessarily things that you want to have, but they certainly did happen. So
My
yeah.
guess is that they went after heavy hitters this season in
Hmm.
Sami and in Saltina Shaker because they really, really, really wanted to turn the franchise around after last season
Yeah.
and make sure that there was a worthy winner that people got super excited about and that it was something you had to watch every week. So fingers crossed that this is going to be a great season. But we'll be here, we'll be covering it, and it should get us through Christmas, I think. Wait, it's yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be no, it'll be after because
Yeah,
it's yeah,
because this
no,
starts
it's
on November 20th, so
yeah.
right before Thanksgiving. So we'll have a little bit of time, but we're excited for it. And I think the thing to note, as always, is that if please follow us along for our coverage. We will do an isolated episode for it. And while you're at it, do the things that we always ask every time. Please like this podcast on everywhere that you're seeing it. Please go ahead, send us a follow on the socials, on the Bluesky, on the Insta. We have always some great fun stuff going on there. Greg, any other last minute words before we jump to our coverage of so many other seasons that we have at any time?
That's my last word. Please, we're still recapping Drag Race España. We're still recapping Drag Race UK. You may get this in, find this Meet the Queens in a couple weeks, and we could be talking about Drag Race UK versus the World 3. Like
Hmm.
lots of stuff coming. You never know. So keep following us and pay attention and like and subscribe.
Absolutely. Very simple things, but we love them all the same. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk to you when it starts on the 20th. Take care, everyone. Goodbye.